Shifting focus, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris campaign in Pennsylvania, one of the 7 key U.S. swing states. During a campaign stop at Erie, Harris slammed Trump for his ominous comments about the enemy within the United States and threat to deploy the military domestically. Recent polls show Trump and Harris are neck and neck in their 7 swing states: Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina.
Donald Trump, I think in our collective opinion, certainly mine, is an unserious man. But the consequences of him ever being president again are brutally serious. Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And he is out for unchecked power. That's what he's looking for.
And Donald Trump also hit the trail in the state with a town hall outside Philadelphia. Earlier in an interview, Trump discussed his concerns about the upcoming election day and his potential second term. Trump dismissed Biden's awareness and emphasized that the real threat comes from within the country.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
All right, let's go across to California. DD India's Amritpal Singh is joining us live from there. Amritpal, tell us how's the buzz there for U.S. elections, and what are people saying with not even a month remaining for the elections?
That's right, not even a month remaining for November 5th, the day, that Super Tuesday when the Americans vote to elect their new president. It is a very polarized society right now. As you could see, what you see in the speeches of the leaders trading barbs at each other, making personal attacks, calling each other dangerous, the enemy within, calling them rabid, Donald Trump calling Kamala Harris a rabid, leftist, using that kind of language, threatening to deploy National Guard, which is an empty threat though, because he's not the United States president. He doesn't hold the administration, so he has no power to deploy National Guard or the U.S. military, but giving out such threats. The effect that's having on the electorate is that it's polarizing people. You can clearly see, though America was always polarized in the sense there are red states which vote the Republican way, primarily in the Midwest. And if you look at the East Coast and the West Coast, there are blue states which have traditionally been the belt or the bed of the Democrats. So they remain as it is. But it really is the 7 swing states which hold the key to the U.S. elections. But what has happened this time around is because it is a very polarized debate. It's a very polarized election season. Both candidates have taken very hardened positions, maximalist positions. So given that, so the society is also divided right from the middle. So that's what the buzz is, that, the way big states, swing states like Pennsylvania go, America will go that way. Abhishek?
Amritpal, also, any information on who is leading on the national polls? And like you also mentioned, battleground states like Wisconsin, Nevada, Pennsylvania and few more will primarily decide who becomes the president. I think it's neck and neck in swing states.
That's right. It's neck and neck in swing states. For example, you mentioned Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris has a 4-point lead, which is a very, very small margin. Because in any polls, as you understand, there is a margin of error. So 4 points lead is really no lead. You can say neck and neck. Look at Arizona, which is again another battle state, an adjoining state to California, where I am right now, a state that borders Mexico. where migration or illegal immigration is a big issue. There, Donald Trump just has a 6-point lead, which is no lead really. So in the truest sense of the term, these are indeed swing states. Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania. So they hold the key to the U.S. elections. Who the next president would be in these swing states, it's neck and neck. Things are changing in the traditional states as well, as much as they remain the same. Though states like New York, states like New Jersey, states like Maine, states like Washington, states like Washington D.C., states like Delaware, states like California primarily remain blue. States like Florida, states like Texas, they remain red. But there is a shift happening. For example, if you look at what Kamala announced as a policy decision about doling out SOPs, about the 1 million unforgivable small loans of $20,000 to the undeserved communities. She's trying to look at black men because the votes of the black men, because polls suggest that black men are drifting away from the Democrats. Remember, the last time around, 80% of the black men vote, the black male vote, went to Joe Biden. But this time around, it doesn't look like that, if the polls are to be believed. They are losing some traditional base. Right now, where I am in San Francisco, I was at the Golden Gate Bridge today, and I was taking a stroll, talking to average Americans, the American voters. Many of them told me, well, they have issues on, they're not happy with who they've traditionally voted for, or their families have traditionally voted for, on a myriad of issues. Say, for example, economy, the cost of living crisis in the United States. It is affecting people. Where I am in San Francisco, homelessness is become a real problem. Remember, this is what is called the Century City. But these issues are cropping up. So that is drifting away the traditional vote of both parties. So things, sands are shifting really, Abhishek. But as I said, the narrative is as polarized as the society is divided. It is that makes the election very, very interesting, Abhishek.
It's going neck and neck, like you're saying, for the time being. But yes, competition is expected to get intense. We'll leave it at that. Amritpal, thank you for your inputs.